Today we're visiting a couple cities that often get left off of a first-timer's itinerary in Japan, but I'm really excited to check them out and bring you along.
Good morning, I'm Katie.
I'm Dan.
Wait, hang on, that's not right. Too early for this.
Wait, I gotta start. Good morning, I'm Katie.
I'm Dan.
And we're in Nagano, Japan.
Chilly day here, which means it's the perfect weather to go visit some snow monkeys.
So the monkeys that we're going to see are actually Japanese macaques, and they live here in the mountains of the Nagano prefecture. And what's really special about them is they're the only troop of monkeys in the world known to use the onsen or go into the hot springs. So we might get to see some monkeys hot tubbing today.
That's awesome.
It's very unique.
I'm so excited for this. This experience we booked on Get Your Guide, so it's going to be kind of a guided tour situation.
Yeah, we're going on a bus tour.
Nice, nice.
And we meet up with our tour group here at the Nagano train station.
Somewhere in this massive train station. This isn't massive by Japan standards, just by, our standards. I'm pretty sure our first stop is actually the temple. It's called the Zenko-ji Buddhist temple.
Then we're gonna get some lunch, and after that we're gonna head to Jingo-Kudani National Park, I believe it is, which is where the monkeys live.
The Snow Monkey Park.
We're currently touring the Zenko-ji temple, which apparently houses the first Buddha statue to come to Japan.
It's a hidden statue, it's not on display.
So our tour guide was telling us that the Buddha statue is actually hidden, and that's apparently a significant part of the temple and the pilgrimage here, is that you don't get to ever see the Buddha statue, you just have to have faith that it's here. But they do have a replica statue that they get out every 7 years for a special festival, so you can come and you can see what the statue looks like, but you can never, even the monks that work here, can never see the original actual statue.
Zenko-ji, or the Temple of the Benevolent Light, has been here since the 7th century, and the town of Nagano sprung up around it.
As we passed through the main gate, we spotted a crane on top of the temple. Our guide explained that we were lucky to see it, and it's a symbol of auspiciousness and long life. It's so beautiful and peaceful here. We just got to see the end of a Buddhist ceremony, which we couldn't film, but it's just very cool to see.
Yeah, we're trying to be respectful that at least inside these halls, there's people praying and worshiping.
The sun's starting to come out though. I think it's going to be a beautiful day.
I think it is. This is a really beautiful place to be. Alright y'all, next stop is Snow Monkey.
I actually think next stop is lunch.
Oh, I think you're right. I think you're right.
We really enjoyed our drive through the mountains after we left the town of Nagano. There's so many beautiful fall colors, and we even saw a bunch of apple orchards.
This region is the second largest producer of apples. Beautiful Fuji apples from Japan.
Next up, we arrived at our restaurant for lunch. So we're very fortunate because this tour gave the option of getting a vegetarian lunch, and it's been kind of harder to find veggie food than I thought it might be. We've already had our tempura, which was delicious, and now we're getting into sushi, I guess. Check that out. Beautiful. Some veggies in there. Let's give it a try. Oh, I dipped it in the wrong sauce.
Yeah, you did.
Whoops. Normally, I'm not a big fan of vegetarian sushi, honestly, but this is really good.
Believe it or not, we've been in Japan for several days now and have not had any sushi. This is our first sushi.
It is our first sushi.
I'm excited for it.
I really like this one.
This was actually such a tasty lunch.
This really is probably some of the best food that we've had here. I really enjoyed the sushi.
Yeah. That was actually one of the nicest restaurants I've been to in a long time. Really good food. Seemed pretty fancy in there. Actually, it would be a good time to give Katie credit for planning our whole itinerary for this trip.
Well, in this case, Get Your Guide planned today's exact itinerary.
It's definitely cold and rainy. It's like 6 degrees out.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's hot tubbing weather for these monkeys.
Yeah, apparently they only go in if it's like cold enough that they like really feel like it. Fingers crossed. On the ride up here, our guide was telling us about this particular troop of monkeys that like to go in the onsen. She told us the backstory of how this is not something the monkeys just spontaneously started doing. This is a learned behavior. They started doing this because they were watching people in the village use the onsen, so they learned how to do it from humans.
Okay, we now are on the short hike to the snow monkeys. I don't mind this walk at all because it is absolutely gorgeous around here.
Yeah, there's beautiful tall cedar trees all around us, and it's like this lovely kind of fall smell from the fallen leaves.
Keep your eyes peeled. You never know when you'll see a monkey. We are seriously on monkey patrol. We've arrived at the onsen. There are no monkeys there. We briefly saw one flash between the trees.
Yeah, he was too quick for me to get a photo though.
I really hope we can get a monkey photo.
We kind of have come all the way to Nagano to see these monkeys, so.
Don't make the stakes higher than they already are.
I know. We'll just have to keep looking.
Patient monkey watch.
We will wait until our guide tells us we absolutely need to leave. Like with this weather, I'd want to be in a hot tub. I want to get in the onsen. How come
Maybe all the
monkeys
people are keeping them away.
Maybe.
It's not private enough. They need a private one on a balcony. This is not a drill, people. Katie sees a monkey. Where is it?
It's at the top of the ridge.
I see it at the top of the ridge.
Can you see on my screen at all? Oh, it's so hard to hold this steady.
Oh my gosh, a monkey. Oh my gosh, a monkey. I definitely see him. Wow. Well, I guess we saw one monkey.
Yeah.
We're trying not to be discouraged.
The thing about trying to go and see wild animals is that they may or may not be there. Like, there's no fences here to keep these monkeys in. Like, they do as they please, and they go to the onsen when they want to, and when they don't, they're not here.
Apparently the park has a YouTube channel where you can watch the monkeys. They also have live streams of the onsen where you can see if there's any monkeys in there. You know, it's okay. We'll survive.
We can be at peace with it.
Like we said, we saw one monkey, so we know that they aren't making it up. We indeed saw a monkey, and I think we've seen some snow.
You know,
The best we can do.
that might be the best we can do today.
One last check for monkeys. Unfortunately, I think one is all we're gonna see.
It's snowing!
Yeah, it is snowing. It is definitely snowing. It is beautiful, yeah. You know what, dear viewer? Just for you, I'm going to edit in some snow monkey footage. You've come all this way. You deserve to see what the snow monkeys look like.
Yeah.
And truth be told, once we're at our next hotel, I'm going to be watching some snow monkey footage as well.
Yeah, look it up on YouTube.
Yep.
We hiked back down the trail to the parking lot. We were the very last people to get back on the bus.
We enjoyed the sunset views as we descended back down the mountain and into the town of Nagano.
Well, that is it for our day in Nagano, but we do have one more lesser known Japanese city that we want to show you in this video.
Welcome to Matsumoto.
So the reason why we came to Matsumoto is to see Matsumoto Castle. It is one of 5 of Japan's national treasure castles. It is very old and very unique.
At the end of the Edo period in Japan, there were actually lots of castles, more than 200, but many of them were falling into disrepair and a lot of them got dismantled.
At the beginning of the Meiji Restoration, they took down a lot of the old castles and I think reused some of the materials that they were built out of. But thankfully, because of like 2 local men, they saved Matsumoto Castle and it's still here in its original form, pretty much with almost all of its original materials.
This castle was built in 1594 and is the oldest castle in Japan, with its castle keep still standing in the original spot.
I'm just impressed because Japanese castles are built out of wood. Like this entire structure is built out of wood and it's still the original wood for the most part that's here. Like that's unreal. Something that I think is amazing about Matsumoto Castle is there's this volunteer group that offers free guided tours in English, like basically just on demand. If you show up between I think like 9 and 5 during the day, there'll be somebody here to give you a tour in English and they're like no tips accepted, smiles only. Like it's so sweet. And so we had a really sweet older lady named Kumiko who was like
so nice.
Just the nicest.
She basically gave us all the context for the castle, so now we get to go in by ourselves.
Samurai helmet.
Oh, wow.
So when I was a child, boys made samurai helmet with music.
Oh, okay.
Put it and played samurai.
Yeah. Aw.
That's beautiful.
That's very cute. Thank you so much. All right, we're making our way up the tower. These stairs, very much ladders.
I think the view is going to be worth it. We made it to the top.
Take a look at this view. You kind of gotta crouch down to see it, but it is a very beautiful view out these windows from the top floor. You can see the mountains in the background and the beautiful fall foliage on the hills around the city. Gorgeous.
The only hard part is going to be going back down.
Yeah.
Those stairs / ladders were steep on the way up. Can you imagine on the way down?
Well, and he has given a lot of instructions that I'm not
No
following.
one's listening. This castle actually occupies a huge area and has 3 different concentric moats around it, but it's the castle keep that is the real star of the show.
One of the biggest threats to Japanese castles is actually fire, because they're made completely out of wood. So there's these little like statues or like gargoyle type things on the roof that are these creatures with the body of a fish and the face of a tiger, and so they were meant to like ward against fire.
Okay, we are now leaving Matsumoto Castle. As we said earlier, the castle actually encompasses a huge area. So there's a historic shopping street just over that way. It is such a struggle to keep our luggage light and to keep our condo decluttered on this trip when there's so many cool and interesting things for sale. Maybe a couple weird things too. There's some kind of an obsession with frogs here that I haven't figured out yet. Yeah, very nice. Is this a frog shrine? I think it is. Are these the Teenage Mutant Ninja frogs?
And with that, our time in Matsumoto comes to an end.
In fact, we've got a train to catch, so you'll have to catch us in the next video.
Thanks so much for watching. It's been fun bringing you along to Nagano and Matsumoto. Maybe we've convinced you to include this in your first time Japan itinerary. We've had a lot of fun experiencing the history and culture in this part of the country. And now we're off to the next destination. So we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.